Hey guys, welcome back. This is part 2 of let's see, Heart Academy, and I'm doing this for my GED class. Hey. All right. So, if you've already watched part 1 of the video, I ended up with trying to do this one right here, but showing you a way to reduce fractions before you even multiply. So, I'm going to start that method over. You need a multiplication chart for it, okay? All right. Now, imagine if you will. Okay. So, the method I use is to look diagonally before you multiply the numbers across, okay? What I mean is this, looking diagonally this way, right? I see a 3 and 11. In my head, I am doing 3 over 11. And I ask myself, is there a number that will go into 3 evenly and 11 evenly, okay? Is there a number that will go into 3 evenly and 11 evenly? I don't know, okay? Well, I know. Automatically, I know that there is not a number. But let's say you didn't know. You can always use a multiplication chart to help you. Remember in class, I was telling you that I struggle with my multiplication facts because of math learning disability that I have, okay? So, this is why I love the chart. It can help you do so many things. So, if you're not sure if there's a number that will go into 3 and 11 evenly, use the chart. This is what I mean, okay? Without using the first row. So remember, the first row does not count because 1 goes into everything, right? Start with the second row. And you're going to look for a row that has 3 and 11 in it, okay? So look here. Do you see a 3 in a row? You don't even see a 3. So you can just go ahead and go down to the next row. Do you see a 3? Yes. Does this row also have 11? No. Move on. Do you see a 3? No. Do you see 11? No. Move on. Okay, so you don't use the first row right here. Go to the next row. And, no wait, I'll stop the recording, so I think I'm further down. Oh, right. We're looking for the 3 and 11 in the same row. And we got to row 4. There's no 3, so you stop. Row 5, no 3. As you can see, you're not going to run into any rows with 3 and 11 because the 3s stop up here. So since you didn't run into a row with 3 and 11, you know this 3 and 11 will not reduce. Okay? So this one, the 11 and 3, leave alone. All right, so now... However, there's another way that you can go diagonally too, isn't there? I can also go diagonally by going this way, by looking at a 10 and a 6, or 6 and a 10. So, well, ask yourself, is there a number that will go into 6 and 10 evenly? I know there is, but let's say that you're really, really bad with facts, okay, and you're not sure. Use the multiplication chart as your tool again. This time, you're looking for a 6 and a 10 in the same row, without using row number 1. Remember, row number 1 will never work because 1 goes into everything. So start with row 2. You're looking for a row that has a 6 and a 10. Starting with row 2 right here, there's a 6, okay, but does it also have a 10? Why, yes it does. Look at that. You found a row that has a 6 and a 10. When you find that row, if you go straight up, that's the answer. So that 6 will become a 3. The 10 becomes what? A 5. Again, a row that has the two numbers you were looking for, a 6 and a 10. And happens to be the second row has a 6 and a 10 in it. So 6 will reduce to 3, 10 will reduce to 5. So what I'm really looking at is this. I have learned how to reduce before I even multiply straight across. Because now I know that this 6 can reduce to a 3, and that 10 can reduce to a 5. Okay, so what this does is make your fractions even smaller to multiply. Now, remember, we already looked this way diagonally, and those can reduce. The 3 and 11 will not reduce. Okay, so now we multiply straight across. Remember, that's now 5. 5 times 11. 5 times 11 is 55. I'm going to put it up here where I have space. And multiply the denominator straight across. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay? So now I have 55 over 9. Now, even though it's reduced, you still need to change this to a proper fraction. Aha! Remember in the last video, I had placed, I think I already put the words there for your vocabulary, that the improper fraction is when it's top heavy, and then you need to change it into a mixed number. There's the vocabulary we're going to look for. Mixed number. If you're keeping track of vocabulary, a mixed number is when you have a whole number with a fraction. Okay, so mixed number, whole number that with a fraction. Okay, so let's go ahead and convert this into a mixed number. Here we go. And remember, to do that, we divide. Okay, so, and remember the steps to division. And that's that whole daddy, mommy, sister, brother, relative steps, right? So, I'm going to take it one number at a time. 9 will go into 5. 9 will not fit into 5. Now, I'll bring the other number with it. 9 will go into 55. How many times will 9 go into 55? I don't know. Use your chart. 9, where's 55? There's 54. Then it goes to 63. So we know it can't be 63. So we'll stick with 54. And that makes our answer 6. So there's 6 will be up here. Boom. So you just did the division part. Now to the multiply. 9 times 6, which we know, is now 54. Now we go to subtract. We have 1 left over. Okay? Nothing to bring down, nothing to repeat. So these 3 numbers right here are the key numbers that takes to make our mixed number. Okay? 6, I'm going to put over here, is the whole number. The remainder is your numerator. And then outside the house is your denominator. And if you watch the first video, we ended up with the same answer. Except we first ended up with a bigger improper fraction, and then we had to convert it into a smaller proper fraction. And with both of them done in the 2 different ways, you're still going to get the same answer. We're going to practice that again with every single time now with multiplying fractions. So again, I'm going to use a method of reducing before I multiply with all the examples I'm going to show you. Erasing all of this, get out of the way. There we go. And bring down my multiplication chart. Okay. Look at that. Our next row is division. I'm skipping over division real quick. Okay. And just do the multiplication. Then I'm going to come back and do the division. That might be in the next video. Depends on how much time I'll have this one. Okay. So now I'm going to go and skip to the next multiplication problem, which is number 13. Okay, number 13. Remember, I'm going to look diagonally to see if I can reduce first. I have a 9 and a 7. So that means in my head, I'm looking for a row that has a 9 and a 7 in it. Okay? Remember, don't use the first row. Okay? Now this method works if you're not sure if there's a number that will fit in a 9 and a 7. Okay? Look at the second row, starting with the second row. If I see a 9, I do not. Move on. There's no 7 either. Let's look for 7. In the third row, is there a 7? No. Fourth row, there's still no 7. Fifth, there's no 7. Sixth, there's no 7. Seventh row, you have a 7, but you don't have a 9. So that's not going to work either. And you can start seeing a pattern. There are no more 7s. Since there's no more 7s, this can't possibly reduce. So leave the 9 and the 7 alone. But you can look the other way. Let's take a look for the 14 and the 10. Can 14 and 10 reduce? Starting with row 2. Do I have 14? I do. And is there a 10? Well, look at that. There's a 10 and a 14. So that 10 could be reduced to 5. That 14 can reduce to 7. So that's what I will use. Let's go back to our original problem. Change it over to red. I just found out that 10 can reduce to 5. 14 can reduce to 7. There. Now I'm going to multiply straight across knowing I did all the reducing. 7 times 7. I never have that one memorized. I think it's 49, but I got to double check. Look at that! 49! Bam! That's right, y'all. That's your GD instructor. 7 times 7. Yeah, 49. I said it before I looked. Y'all know it. 49. I'm going to put over here since I have space. And then multiply the denominators. 9 times 5. 45? What is it? 25, 30 again. 4. That's right. 45. Man, I got that one backwards. Just calculate. Okay, 45. There we go. Now, This doesn't look all that neat, but remember, our numerator is 49, denominator is 45. And what's wrong with this problem? That's right, it's top heavy. It is improper fraction that we now need to change into a mixed number by dividing, okay? Remember, for your final answers, you cannot leave improper fractions. So to do this, remember, we're going to divide. I have 45 outside of the house. Really hard to write it with a mouse. And a 49 on the inside of the house. Oops. That's supposed to be. And we'll just divide. Remember the daddy, mommy, sister, brother, repeat. Divide first. 45 will go into 4, 0. 45 will go into 49. You know that's 1 time. Boom. We multiply. 1 times 45. And we subtract. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Okay? That gives me 4 left over. It is these parts that make our mixed number for our final answer. So the whole number on top becomes your whole number in a mixed answer, and the denominator is the remainder. So that will be here. And what's on outside the house, didn't mean to draw that line. And what's on outside the house, I drew that line again. 1 second. Skip that loose. Okay. And now. And now. And now. Okay. What's outside the house becomes your denominator. So that's 45. So for our final answer, we have 1 and 4 over 45. Okay? I'm going to leave this video here, and then I will come back and record the next one. I'll see you then.